Do you want to be here? Neither do we. That's why we call it the obligatory. We talk about farts, food, mics, kids, $5,000 beds, girls, comedy, and Kermit's butthole. Yeah, maybe the facts aren't right, but here's the obligatory podcast with Kermit and Mike.
It's Obligatory Podcast with Kermit and Mike, episode 67. And we got a special episode for you guys today, actually, because I have Justin Lawson and Preacher Lawson all the way from California.
Mike's excited.
Mike's not excited.
So excited. I just feel bad because I had so much fun talking to you guys for like the past 20 minutes. I know none of that funniness is going to...
Trying to save it.
It's like once you hit record, it's over. So just know no matter what you're listening to right now, it was so much better compared to what you're listening to. You missed the show. You missed the show. But yeah, we got Preacher Lawson in the house, Justin Lawson. They're out here at Side Splitters Comedy Club. I think it's probably a record for that club this weekend. Was it 8 sold-out shows? Yeah, that's got to be a record for them. And they wanted to add a 9th, and you guys just didn't do it?
I like my voice.
Your voice is going?
I sound like I eat cigarettes. So
yeah.
I gotta no.
I like it though, man.
You like what?
You like eating cigarettes?
No, fool. Why would I like to eat cigarettes?
I don't know. You kind of just
what if that's what he was talking about? Yeah. Marlboro. I love them Newports. Right.
No, I was just saying that he lost his voice.
Okay.
Oh, you love that he lost his voice? Because now when you're away from the show, it's just silence?
Yeah, man. No, it's just like he talks, and so now.
He said...
But I wanted I know, but I wanted to do it too. So, all right. I wanted to.
Could have just agreed with him.
I know, man. But
yeah, that's the reason. He was like, "What's the reason? Because Preacher's quiet off stage." Nope, because Preacher's quiet off stage.
But I was gonna say the same thing in like a different way.
Okay,
well, you messed it up now, so I'm not gonna do it.
Well, yeah. Anyway, my voice is jacked up, but yeah. So 8. So yeah, it was great, man. Tampa shows love. Florida shows love. Orlando, love Orlando, man. I think I can't wait to go back there. But I'm working out some new jokes, and we're gonna see what happens.
You guys been here since Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you guys are out of here. Today's the last show.
Yeah.
We fly out Monday morning.
Yeah.
We fly out tomorrow morning. We got 2 more shows tonight, and
whoa.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So 2 shows Thursday.
2 shows. Yeah, 2 shows. No, 1 show Thursday, 2 shows Friday, 3 shows on Saturday.
Okay. I was figuring out the math here. All right. No.
Yeah, but they don't want to. because no one really. Thursday's a hard day to sell because people are still at work. You know what I mean? And Friday is easier because they're getting off work. And Saturday, that's why they add on Thursday. But Sunday.
But even doing 2 shows on a Sunday is pretty much unheard of nowadays. Sunday shows are usually like an early show because people got work Monday. Like a lot of clubs don't even do Sundays because it's like an off night. It's hard to get people in. So to see you guys doing 2 sold out shows, jeez. And I gotta figure this is all because Justin Lawson's on the bill.
Yeah, man. I've been on Groupon for a little bit, and it's just been changing my life.
I was gonna say that Comedy Central cameo.
Come on. Like
can I tell you that was like I love the whole thing because like I've known JB for years. I've known Preacher for years, and I saw that JB was working on something, and I was laughing during that whole. If you haven't seen it yet, did it air on the actual network or just on the internet?
Central.
I think it's just maybe on the website or
on the website,
social media, which is like doing
better
numbers.
Yeah. You're already over. You're close to 500,000 views already, cool. Something like that. But JB had told me he was working on it. Then I heard that you were cast in it. But I didn't hear anything about Justin. So the whole sketch was funny to me, just in general, just seeing like the dramatic takes in the firefight.
Yeah.
You got to check it out. It's basically an argument. It takes place in a barbershop, and it's
MJ versus LeBron.
MJ, one of the greatest debates of all times. But then I'm not going to ruin it. But then Justin Lawson pops up, and that part probably made me laugh harder than everything because just your level of cockiness you were at to the sling. I was dying. I was dying. I'm like, that's a perfect role for Justin right there. Because I've been in that part of conversations where people are like, I'll talk about things and then I'll throw in something. They're like,
They were like, nah, what are you talking about?
So good for you. But you got a lot going on, man. You got, of course, the Comedy Central sketch just hit, and you're touring everywhere.
You know what's crazy? I didn't realize, because this is how I know my audience is to watch Comedy Central. Not one comment was like, oh, it's Preacher. Like, that's like a totally different audience, man. So I was looking. I was like, let me see if anyone, was like, hey, that's pretty. Not one comment. They were just like, that's funny. And I was like, it is funny, but like no one that watches Comedy Central knows who I am. It's like, so I have a wholly.
Well, that's.
Like, when you go to my show.
I was about to say that's how that.
What's up?
I was about to say that's how the one girl did your jokes, because she did it on.
She didn't do it on Comedy Central.
She did on.
She did on like a Hispanic Comedy Central.
Yeah, my teacher.
Yeah, it was just a different conversation.
But yeah, that's crazy because I got a message from. But check this out. So we were talking about this the other day. So the crazy thing is that a fan sent that to me. It was like, hey man, I was watching jokes and I speak Spanish and I seen this lady. I think she did a couple of your jokes or whatever. So I went and watched a clip. She has like 2 hours, right? I only watched like maybe the first 5 minutes, and she had 3 jokes, and I just posted the 3 jokes. And I was talking to Justin.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, she took all your jokes.
She did the AGT set.
She did your audition.
She's like, I got a black grandma. I was like, wait a minute. I don't think that's
She did the grandma bit, and I was like, I didn't know she did all that.
Well, I don't think she did the grandma bit, but she did the other ones.
She did the dollar bit.
She did all the other ones.
You know the funny thing about that is I started watching it because I heard about it. I heard this woman, Spanish-speaking comedy channel. It was Comedy Central, but Spanish. Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And I heard that. I'm like, well, let me go check this out, because a lot of times people have what we call lateral thinking. So she started with one joke, and I was like, okay, yeah, the dollar, but I mean, yeah, maybe. And then as soon as she went to the next one, I was like, nope, this is just straight up.
She's like, I'm a preacher.
It's funny that she
She signed up. Soy preacher Lawson. Gracias. And then like, what the fuck?
It was tough growing up a black child. Black male in America. But but the best part was Preacher's response to it. He didn't even really get mad, because he's like, see, Comedy Central, you won't give me a special, but you give this woman my jokes a special.
I was so mad because they really wouldn't. We sent my 30-minute clip in. They were like, nah. And then they told me they didn't want to put me on. And then that was like before, I think it was before America's Got Talent. And I already did the jokes on TV. So I don't care. She stole jokes from other comedians.
Oh, really?
She's
on a roll.
Yeah, she stole jokes from one of my friends, Jenny, and then she was really mad because she didn't like do anything that like help her take off. So she's taking jokes and doing them on a different platform, and she's still struggling.
Yeah.
Still struggling as a comedian. So it's like I would be mad then, but like any joke I do on TV, I throw away.
Right.
I don't do it anymore. So
well, we were talking about that just a few days ago. That's the situation with like there's comics out there like me. I'm on the road a lot and stuff like that, but I don't have the following that some of these people, even some of these Instagram kids, have like 65, 80,000. And what's happened a lot recently, and this just happened like last week actually, I posted something, and then someone else who has like 65,000 followers took it, posted it out there, started getting a ton of likes, and I called him out on it. I'm like, dude, what the hell? He's like, oh yeah, I was inspired by your thing. I'm like, but the difference is, I don't have your following. So when you take something from me and put it and claim it as yours, people just assume that's you. So now if I go anywhere and do that.
And you know what the crazy thing is? Real quick, they could just repost it and still get the same amount of likes.
So they didn't repost. They took
That's what I'm saying. Just throw some credit. Like when I repost a meme or something on Twitter, I make sure I get the person's name in there and everything. It still hits the same. It's still funny. It's still showing the humor, but it's giving credit to the person.
Yeah, that's what they
tweet something, or did you like do some stand-up?
I did some stuff on Instagram. And someone just basically did a Instagram live video and took what I said and put it in their live thing. And I just kind of called them out on it. And they're like, oh, I was inspired by you. And I was like,
Now I'm going to do some, because I'm going to investigate now.
We'll talk
after. Because I'll be taking your jokes, man. When I first met you, somebody...
I already know the name. But
it hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. They say there's like 2 things going on right now where it's like one's a guy I've worked with for years, which pisses me off. But it's like, dude,
Toilet joke?
Yeah, what's that? No, that one. That's
the one. That's the first one I was like.
Yeah, that was in the past.
Because I remember seeing, because I seen that person do it first.
Yeah.
So I didn't know you was doing it longer.
Right.
So when I seen you do it, I was like, his is funnier, but. He stole that.
Well, no. I was like, what we say? What I was telling Kermit, we were talking about this on the last podcast. So I'm like, audiences are stupid, And if you're listening, you're an audience. Audiences are stupid.
we enjoy. Thank you, audience. Thank you for the views and the likes.
Hey, audiences are always going to take who they saw it first from
that's
as
true.
the originator.
That's true.
And on that specific joke, that bathroom joke, I've had shows where after the show, someone will come up and be like, oh, yeah, I don't even do that joke anymore. But I fought for it for so long because I knew it was mine.
Yeah.
But, like, I had someone come up to me after a show once and be like, yo, you got that joke from so-so. I'm like, really? You're not the first person? Let's call so-and-so because I made him tell them over the phone that I didn't take that joke. But you know, think of all the people that don't come up and say shit to you after the show. They just start thinking, "Oh, you took that joke."
I never said
that recently happened to me.
Then I think I spoke to you or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I just kept watching his comedy.
And you realize, oh, they get a lot of stuff. Ken Miller, our buddy, he was hosting a show one night, and he texted me. He's like, "Dude, someone just went up and did your opener on stage." And before I even got pissed, I was like, "How'd it do?" Because the ego of a comedian is like, you want to make sure your material's working.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it killed." I'm like, "Great. Now who is this fucker?" And like at the end of the night, he told me, he's like, "Oh, he did a Chris Rock joke too, so you're in good company." I'm like, phew. And he pulled the kid aside. It was just an open mic. Ken was hosting, and he's like, "Man, what are you doing?" He's like, "That first joke was my buddy Mike Hurley. The other one was Chris Rock." And the kid's like, "Oh, I've seen Mike. He's one of my favorite local guys." He's like, Ken's like, "That's not how comedy works, man. You don't just take your favorite jokes and go on stage." But he was new. He didn't know him.
That's different.
I always forget.
That's different.
You gotta forgive him, but it's these guys that have been in it forever that you've worked with, and all of a sudden they got a joke that's like similar to yours, and you're like, man. They asked.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Then they asked
in
like,
L.A. That just happened.
Something happened?
Yeah, where somebody was doing a joke, and listen, this the crazy part about it.
Did you lose thought in mid talk right there?
No. I was about to say something. Right. A friend, Carmen Morales, friend of mine, called me and let me know that somebody was doing a joke, and I was like, I don't know who that person is, but I think I probably seen him around. And then I realized I do know the person, but I forgot his name. And we were hanging out, and we were doing, he saw me at 2 shows, and then we were on a show together. And then, like, I seen a video, like a recent video of this man doing a joke, and I'm like, what the heck?
It wasn't like a video. It was like a Just for Laughs.
No, it was on.
It was actual.
It was on Laugh Factory.
Laugh Factory.
It was Fresh Faces.
Yeah, it was. Okay, this man.
Well, I mean, you was trying
to the Montreal New Faces.
He giving all the information. But it was. I'm saying
it wasn't
like
just for laughs.
Upload on his channel.
Yeah. It wasn't just like a little.
Like a major company that was like.
Something where
I'm sorry, this is random, but a duck a bunch of them are just walking.
Yeah, there's ducks walking by.
It kind of threw me off, and I'm like, all right, I'll get more ducks. All right, but it was like
it was a big deal.
Yeah. So go ahead. Just build up the.
So basically,
I'm just being like it's not like he just did your joke on. It's not like he just did your joke.
Yeah, the dude's getting TV work, and stuff like that. So I just DM'd him, and I was just like, yo, like in the beginning, I was trying to be like nice about it. I was just like, hey, I think we got similar jokes, and I was like, I'm just curious, how long have you been doing that joke? And he's like, oh yeah. This man said, oh yeah, man. I saw you at one of the shows, and my buddy said, yeah, you probably stole that joke for you. And I was like, nah. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, what are you talking about, man? I was like, I've been doing this joke. I was like, how long you been doing this joke? He was like, a year. I was like, I've been doing it over a year. It's not been a year for me, man. And a year ago, I was so mad, Preacher had to finish typing the rest of the thing. Yeah, sometimes when you get mad, you don't make sense, and you're like, and then green shirts, you know? Like, what is he talking about?
I was like, just calm down. So what you're trying to say is that you've been doing that joke for like 4 or 5 years, and he's been doing it a year, and you just happened to move to LA a year ago. You know what I mean? And then the way he did the way he did his joke was like, you wanted to say the joke?
Oh, I don't care.
The way that Justin does the joke is he does,
it's a skinny jeans joke, man.
Yeah, the
45 cents joke.
Yeah.
I got a T-shirt of it.
Yeah, Brett, that's what I'm saying.
Do that for years.
For years, and this dude just does it.
So the way he does his joke is he does a joke about skinny jeans and a homeless dude singing "Change in His Pocket," and then he transitions to the glasses, and another guy does a joke with skinny jeans with a homeless dude. seeing change in his pocket. It's not 45 cents. He sees 2 quarters. So
at least he was smart enough to change the denomination.
He transitions to his glasses bit. So it's like
he goes into your glasses bit.
So he go not into my glasses bit. He just transferred into like I say how glasses is like not a fashion, and he tries to say like glasses is cool. That's the reason why I wear it, type thing.
He's your bizarro.
But
you.
yo, bro, it's just like
he's your doppelganger.
But it's just the way he did it in the beginning because he seemed like a nice dude.
So I feel like he might have been on like accident.
Yeah.
And then you know what I mean. And then like
so that's why I didn't want to go in like all angry and stuff.
So that's the trick.
So I was just like. I started off like maybe you had like a similar, and then I was like, hey man, you did, because he was like, yeah, great minds think alike. I was like, listen man, you did the joke, and it's like you probably didn't do it on purpose, like take it, but I mean I just like I feel like you should stop doing it if you can.
And that's the difference. Like I've had 2 situations in the past year where it's like there's lateral thinking, but I'm a storytelling guy.
Yeah.
So if you take a joke from me, it's a chunk.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like okay, everybody had that one. Well, like what was the big one a long time ago? Everybody was saying Mencia took like, oh, if we're gonna build a wall, close off Mexico, who are you gonna get to build it? It's like my dad wrote that joke. He doesn't even do comedy. Everybody was doing
did that joke.
Alonzo Bowden did that joke. Ali Shaffer did that joke. So it's like, that's a simple anyone could have written.
Yeah.
But when you take like 3 minutes from me,
George Lopez.
George Lopez.
He's about to name all of them.
Well, Mencia did it. Lopez did.
Yeah,
it.
Lopez,
That
Lopez
works.
hates him.
But
But
I've had 2 instances in this past year where I've had to like same thing, direct message people because you hear someone do it once or you hear it from other people first, like this guy's doing your thing, and it's like, all right, well I'm an adult now, I'm not gonna just bust down doors and stuff like so I hit him up and I'm like, hey man, I hear we have a similar joke. And I always try to take that nice approach, not like you stole this shit from me. I go, I hear we have a similar joke, here's a recording of mine, and I go back to either my earliest audio recording or video recording and I post it to be like, I just wanted you to know if you hear me doing this.
That's what
so I try to give them that way of going, hey, I'm just concerned, I don't want you thinking, which isn't working because it hasn't stopped anyone. But one guy recently, I posted a clip from me doing something from like 2014 and they just made it into a sketch. And now the difference is if you're over in California, I've never met you, we've never worked together, and you come up with something, I'm like, oh. But if you've been on the same scene that I'm on, and I've worked with you for years, and I've been doing this joke in the same places that you work, and now all of a sudden you miraculously have this perfectly formed joke, it's like, dude, that should be enough for you to be like, oh, okay, somehow I probably did grab it from you. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you stole it, but can you at least you've probably been singing in a room
that's what
and heard me do it.
That's what I was trying to get him to do. And then when I did that, this man flips out.
Yeah.
He gets angry at me.
That's what guilty people do.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Because, I can understand if I was in a situation, someone's like, I've been doing this joke. I'm like, well, how long have you been doing it? I've been doing it 4 years. And if I've been doing like a year, I'm like, I had a joke that I seen that, it's so funny when you have a joke and then you see like, a famous person like Bill Burr or Louis C.K. or someone that's established do a joke, you're like, oh, I got to scratch the joke. But when you have a joke and there's someone that hasn't like made it yet or whatever, and you're like, they're always like so reluctant to be like, oh, I'm just not gonna do this. You know what I mean? They still like, I'm doing the joke. It's like, bro, I've been doing this like,
I'm trying to do it faster. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, why do you even want to joke like that? Anytime I do a joke and I'm like, oh, this is kind of similar to someone else, I just stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not worth it.
I had a joke for a while I was doing. It was killing when I first started, and it was basically, you know how in cars you got to put that breathalyzer in once you've had too many DUIs to start your car? I was doing this whole bit
Only
about,
you know about that.
I had a friend that had to do that, and it was scary. Listen, this is the scary part about it. You could be on the highway and it will stop. You got to do the breath. I'm like, bro, you should have told me that before we got in the car, man. This is unsafe.
I felt super scared, honestly.
Oh, you were in that?
Oh,
car
you were in
too?
their car too?
He's not in the same car. No.
Yeah. It was the car. It was
my Uber driver.
Who was? He was like, I'll give you a ride home.
And he had one of those?
He had one, and I was like,
oh, that's
I don't know,
craziness.
I might walk.
Yeah.
He's like, sit down.
I might be safer.
Please, man.
So I was doing a bit about how I need one of those. This was back in like 2007. I'm like, I need one of those for my cell phone. Keep me from calling my boss when I'm drunk. Keep me from calling my ex-girlfriend, leaving messages and everything. I was doing great. And then I got a call from a buddy of mine, Mike Tapcar. He's like, hey, man, just want to let you know that breathalyzer joke, he's like, Stanhope's doing it. I'm like, dude, I've been doing that shit for like 6 months. How long's he been doing it? He's like, well, it says here on the cassette, 1984. I was like, oh, right. Stanhope wins this one. You know? But, yeah, I mean, you can't know every joke that was ever done.
Yeah, yeah.
Anytime I've been presented with, hey, that joke's kind of similar to someone else and they've been doing it this long, first thing I go is, well, shit, but hey, I'm on the right track because if I'm writing shit that worked for, you know. Yeah. But now it's just one of those things where, like I said, everybody's got their social media presence so high. It doesn't, like, you look at what happened with the Fat Jew a couple of years back. Remember that guy that was just swiping from everywhere?
Yeah.
He had book deals, movie deals, stuff like that. He never wrote a fucking joke in his life. He was just grabbing because it's so accessible now out there.
Was he a meme stealer?
No, he was stealing videos.
He sold memes and jokes.
Yeah.
He would and he wouldn't give credit. You know, that's what you like, give credit.
So what happened to you?
He gave credit. If he just would have been like, hey, so-and-so, it'd been fine.
That's all you want, just the credit. But
I remember doing the joke, too, about how the do not eat packets you find in, like, you know, your beef jerky. And I had thought of, and I was like, beef jerky.
To absorb moisture and stuff like that.
So I was like, we know not to eat it. No one's, like, looking through the brand new pair of Jordans, like, finally, my shoes and candy. You know? I used to do that joke. And then I remember Akeem and Carmen Rouse came to me afterwards. And actually, I did it, and Akeem came to me. He was like, oh, I think I seen some girl do that joke on, like, Comedy Central. And I was like, what girl? And he's like, I don't know her name. And I was like, whatever. You know what I mean? And so I stopped doing the joke. I didn't do it for like a year. And I did it like a year later because I was like, why did I stop doing this joke? And I did it again. The Carmen Rouse was like, oh, some girl does that. Named so-and-so something. She was born. She's a Pisces. I was like, okay, all right. So I just never did that joke again. But it was like, that joke got a laugh. Like it was a full bit. You know what I mean? But I was like, all right, I just threw it away. You know what I mean? Like it's not that serious. So.
Gabriel Iglesias is a new special. He's got a 3-minute chunk that, of all people, Screech called me up to let me know. He's like, dude, did you see Gabriel Iglesias' new special? I'm like, no. He's like, he does your whole bit. And I was like, my whole, whatever. He probably, and I know Dustin tends to exaggerate sometimes. So I'm like, he's probably got a line similar to me. And I'm watching the bit, and like, I'm mouthing my bit as it goes. I've never worked with Gabriel Iglesias. I've never worked with anyone that worked for Gabriel Iglesias. But when you get a 3-minute chunk of comedy that has like different beats in it and everything else, and you're like, he's not going here with it. He's not going. And then he goes there with it. I'm like, I don't know how. But I'm like you said, I'm like, part of me wants to retire it, but the other part of me is like, man, I've been doing that bit for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
7 years. Yeah. And I'm definitely, if I ever do work with him and I get the feature, I'm doing that bit before he goes up.
Man, you know one of my favorite bits. I don't know if you do this bit anymore. I know you was working on it.
Oh, I already know what. You always bring it.
You know my favorite bit, but you already know my favorite bit. You know my favorite bit?
The
Hello, good night.
No,
the van.
You've been waiting 5 minutes to jump in with
Just
that.
wait for that one. Just like,
I'm glad you guys.
Good night. All right. Good night.
This is what it's like for me every week, but without you guys helping.
Yeah, I just figured I'd go get a bagel or something.
He stares dumbly, going.
Well, you guys talking about the past and like jokes. Like clearly, I don't.
Oh, you don't have a past?
Not a good one.
Oh, you act like the poorest brown person ever. Like, I'm so poor, I don't even have a history.
First off, you're talking about joke stealing. I don't have any jokes for the steal, so that's false.
Oh, that's not true. You had a cruise line comic take your joke.
Oh yeah, you did, but that's not the point.
What's his name?
Oh, his name's
No, I'm joking.
I mean, what sad cruise line comic took
and
this joke?
He's
like, I need Kermit's joke.
He called me and told me.
When I heard this, I got so upset.
Hold on. He called you and told you? That's gangster. He's like, hey, man, like, by the way, I'm doing this.
Yeah, he goes, hey, you know that joke you do? I go, yeah. I'm going to use it tonight. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I'm on the cruise ship. I need more jokes and time. I'm going to do your joke. I was like, don't do that joke. He goes, I'm going to do it. And then he hangs up the phone. And I was like, I can't do anything about this. There's nothing I can do.
And I was so pissed when I heard that. And Kermit's like, no, that's cool. I'm like, no, because if he's taking jokes from comics like you, he's definitely taking good jokes.
He's doing all of our jokes.
He's doing everybody's set.
He's doing everybody's set.
So what happened with this one dude? How long ago was that? That
was
recently?
Yeah, the flight over here. Yeah. So, and like I said, this is the thing though. But so he's saying that he's been doing it and he's seen me before, but he never brought it up. And so when I'm like, anytime I hear somebody do a joke of mine, I'm bringing it up
at that show.
At that time, bro. Well, go ahead. What?
Oh, okay, my bad. You ain't done with your story?
No, I was fix your microphone first of all.
This is how I like it, bro. What are you talking about?
That's so weird.
You act like you wear your hat on the right way every time. This is how I like the thing.
He's like, he knows. He's got his voice a little bit weaker. He's taking that off. So
you look like you about to tell a secret. Well, I don't know why you got it like that.
So, anyways, I just want to.
Right. No. So in this house, that's when I called you because someone else took one of my jokes, which you remember? I called you because I was asking advice. I was like, this is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying the conversations I have with Mike. I was like, yo, so I got this joke about something. And he didn't know it was me, right? He didn't know it was me, but he was like, I got this joke about something, and I think so-and-so took my joke. And he was like, all right, that joke's pretty hacky anyway. But
I said that?
Yeah.
Was I right? Do you do that joke anymore?
It's just an easy joke.
All right.
But,
He didn't want to say it was hacky.
Yeah.
So, but
you didn't say hack. You just said it was like easy. Like this is just an easy joke.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but it's mine. You were like, yeah. Well, did you talk to him? And I was like, I was gonna talk to him now. And it was like towards the end of the conversation, you thought I was Bishop, but
okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember this at all.
And I guess you say because the preacher Bishop, whatever. There's two comedians, by the way. Whatever. And so, but I remember talking to you about him. I was like, hey, what do I do? He's like, all right, so just call him up. And I called him up, and I was like, hey, man, you do the same joke I do. And something. He's like, I've been doing that joke. And I was like, whoa, you see me do it, multiple times. You never said anything. You never said, like, hey, I got a similar joke. If I see someone do my joke, I'm going to be like, hey, man, we got the same type of, you know what I mean? And he didn't do that. And then also he just was known to take jokes. You know what I mean? He did a joke about how, what was the joke he did? He was
Preacher,
like, hey, man,
Preacher was about to beat him up.
Well, only because
people don't understand. You can sleep with my girlfriend. Don't take my jokes.
Yeah.
I can find another girlfriend.
This is how I knew Preacher was about to fight him. When he started clapping, he was like, hey, man, you took my joke. I saw the sound wave come from his hand. I was like, yeah, he's about to.
When the girl took my joke, I posted it on social. I posted on my Instagram, my Facebook. I posted on my on YouTube. When I posted on Instagram, it started blowing up. Like multiple comedians started coming, flooding my page. Got like tens of thousands of views, jumped up. It started going viral on Facebook. And she sent me an apology. She said I did it. She's like, I'm so sorry. I've been doing stand up for like a year, and then I needed jokes, so I decided.
so I decided to take yours.
So yeah, she was like, and I was like, I'm so embarrassed and I'm so sorry.
You should
I haven't been stand up since I did that, but I'm sorry. And she said that, so I just deleted everything. I deleted off of Facebook. I deleted off of Instagram. Because I felt like, well, I don't. Cause
there's nothing more you can get out of that.
All right, I was like, you apologize, whatever, and I just left it on I left it on YouTube, not thinking about it.
Yeah,
and then it went viral. Again.
And your minions took over,
I know,
and they copied and pasted their reaction videos. Bro, they're like, look at this, look at this.
They're reenacting it. I'm gonna be her.
People have different views. Like I had a bunch of friends that were like, yo, we should have took it down. She stole it. She
put it on blast.
Yeah, but that's not like me. I'd leave it up for life, but I'm a douchebag. You're like a positive, good person, Yeah. So it's like for you to leave that up there every day, even though you're in the right, be a reminder of a shitty time. And you're like, you're one of those people. You're like, that's in the past. It's done.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I just feel like
she apologized.
Yeah, I just feel like you apologize, and for me, honestly, it does not matter.
Yeah,
because I already did.
Because you're already out there.
Yeah,
if you were an unknown comic and she had gone on 100%. And taken all your shit,
it was your AGT jokes.
Yeah,
that's like the biggest.
Like all the jokes she did was #1 trend on YouTube at one point.
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
I get every now and then I'll get someone ask me like, "Hey, I heard you do a joke about so and so. I do a joke about this that I'm writing or working on, and I just want to find out from you. Do you think it's too similar to your joke?
I already know that.
Number one, when people are asking you a question like that, they already know it's too similar.
Yes.
But no, I always just answer like this. I'm like, well, let's do it like this. Imagine I was coming to you saying I have a joke that I think similar to you. what would your decision be? And I'm like, and besides that, if I did the joke that you're thinking about on stage and you were up next, would you still be able to do your joke and get laughs with it? Because that's the biggest one, man. There's so many people that don't understand just because you change the word puppy to poodle and you think you got a new original joke, if the structure's the same, the topic's the same, and you're going to go on the same show with someone, and can you do that joke? You know, I think that's the biggest test if the joke's too similar, because audiences are like, no, we just heard this.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine who's a newer comedian, and we used to hit mics a lot, and he used to take everybody's joke. And
I want to know who this person is.
Take everybody's joke. Y'all know him. So
I know he know him. That's why I'm curious.
I think he took like Mike's joke too.
Two of them.
And,
he's got two of them.
He already knows who it is.
Yeah. What's funny is last time you were in town, I thought you guys were really close, so I never mentioned it around you because I'm like, that's his boy. I'm not going to bring it up. But someone had mentioned his name, and Preacher's eyes just rolled. And someone was like, oh, man. And I'm like, Preacher's like, let's take a walk. You told me stories. I'm like, dude, I thought maybe I was just getting – because the problem is when you start people's – I know we talk about this a lot. I wish we didn't, because I wish it didn't happen. You know, I wish people wouldn't take shit from other people. That way we wouldn't have to have these conversations.
Yeah, because you don't want to be mean about it. You just be like, I just want you to stop.
You become the dick. You become the problem. But I guess I came up at a different time when it was that's so-and-so's, or they wrote it before you. That's theirs. You don't touch it.
Yeah.
And now there's a more flippant attitude of whatever works on stage, I'm going to do it. It's fine. What are you going to do about it? And it's like, well, I can't do anything because, you know, if I go to jail, you know, I got kids. Like, and it's so funny to me that music, you know, you got like those musicians from the 70s suing people because 3 of the notes in a new song sound similar to something they did, you know, 40 years ago, and they get $1 million in royalties. But someone else can go on stage with your joke that you've been doing for a year, and there's no protection for you whatsoever.
And this is my thing. When people do that, it's not stand-up. It's acting.
Yeah.
You're an actor.
You're a cover comedian.
Yeah. You're, like,
You're a cover comedian.
You're not a comedian, man. Like, you're going to have to write another joke or steal another one.
Still gonna say steal another one.
You're going to have to continue to steal because you're going to need a special. It's like you're just going to steal your whole life, bro.
Whole half an hour is stolen material.
If you have material stolen from you and you're not someone like you said, you're lucky where you are right now because, you know, you got TV, you got everything else. You're known. If you're an unknown guy and someone takes your material.
You're ready to fight.
You're ready to fight, but truthfully speaking, there's nothing.
You can't. I'm not saying. Listen.
Sometimes you gotta take it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, JB's gotten so many jokes stolen from him, and then I mean, Carlos Mencia took a joke from him. You know what I mean? This SNL has been taking sketches, made sketches out of JB's jokes. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You know what's crazy is that, you know, JB's last sketch, right? So in the he wrote the sketch, and he doesn't, you know, JB.
Was this the MJ LeBron one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So JB, you know JB. JB doesn't take tags
from
people.
Yeah.
Like we'll be like, I'll be like, yo, you can say this. He's like, yeah, you know, but you said that, so I'm not using it. I'm like, give me tags. Do you take tags? Give me some tags. You know, he just won't take tags with me. And then in the sketch, I was thinking of a name for he wrote down a list of names that I can say, name the baby, whatever. And I'm supposed to be the LeBron fan. And it was a girl, so I was like, name my baby LeBronda.
And that's what made it in, right?
Yeah,
That's what made it.
But there's a comedian that worked with JB, and this was my ad lib. JB didn't write any of those jokes. I ad libbed the LeBronda.
Yeah.
And JB worked with some comedian that had a joke about LeBronda, and then he was mad. He's like, you took my joke, and then JB was like, no, I didn't. He's like, I didn't. He's like,
I didn't write that part of it.
He was on the show. He seen me at a show, and I did that joke. He's like, look, man, I don't pay attention to your set. Not even write that down. I can send you the rough draft. Preacher ad-libbed that, and I did.
Yeah,
I ad-libbed. It had nothing to do with JB, and I don't know. I never seen that guy. It was just something like this. It's really not that LeBronda. Like, come on, like it's really. It's not that. It's not like crazy. You know, complex.
But that's how possessive comics are of their stuff.
And then he's mad, and he should be. I mean, I get him being mad because he should be mad. But like, dang, my joke is, you know, but we didn't take it.
Right.
You know, so it's like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's doing a lot to get on TV.
But the guy that we're talking about, he would take. Like I remember I would look at him. I'm like, that's me. Like he would just do my whole style. You know what I mean? And then one time he did Bill Burr's joke about, he said, how Bill Burr was like, why do people get married? You know, like if it says a 50% rate that you die, if you're going skydiving and it's a 50% chance you die, why would you go?
Yeah.
Like he does that whole thing, and then he does the joke. He was like, why do people get married? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a 50% chance of you failing.
Yeah.
You were gambling, and then it was a 2 out of 3 chance.
Yeah.
He was the one that did the similar thing. So is this similar? I'm like, no, it's mine. It's just, it's mine, man.
It's funny because that same guy did a show in my hometown. He was featuring for someone else. My little brother went to the show.
Featuring?
I got a text during the show. My brother's like, dude, I'm at this show and there's a comic here, and he's like, he sounds just like you. And I didn't even have to ask, but I'm like, dude, what's his name? And he shot me the name. And I'm like, oh, is it because he does my so-and-so and so joke? He's like, dude, he hasn't even done those jokes yet. Just the mannerism and I'm like, and then he texts me back. He's like, he did those jokes. I'm like,
Hilarious.
And it sucks because it's one of those things where it's fine when it's like some pissant little open micer who's not getting anywhere. But when you see someone who's making moves and going and getting big audience, because he was touring with a pretty big name for a while. And it's like, dude, you're doing my material at places I haven't even got to do my material yet.
This whole episode's about a mystery comic, by the way.
Yeah,
Just mystery.
several mystery comics.
Mystery
We're talking
comics.
about 2 different comedians right now.
Yeah,
Probably.
maybe.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Which
but
proves
the comedy just
Because I think we're talking about the same one.
The trauma. I think I know who you're talking about. But yeah, he did.
All right.
But he does it too.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get you guys get DMs talking about, yo, you talking about me?
No, this
that
is
me?
great because now every Orlando comedian has to listen to this, try and figure out who's who. And even LA comedians.
Little Carmen San Diego.
Yeah. But yeah, let's we'll get away from some of that.
Yeah, I know.
Let's
We were down the rabbit hole.
we didn't even press
feel
record
bad, man.
every
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
I feel bad. I'm like, you know what? Whatever
you
we
know
do,
what?
let's not talk about
We sat
comedy.
down on the way
and then
here,
we sit
like,
down
don't
and
talk about comedy.
People love negativity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, here's something I really wanted to. I took the kids to see the new Aladdin. Did you see it?
Yeah, I seen it.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I think I'm gonna keep saying this, and some people disagree with me. I think, first of all, it was trash to me. I think that Jim Carrey should have been Genie.
What?
I think Jim Carrey would have been a way better Genie
You
than
had
Will
to
Smith.
pee. Now you're back. You got something important.
Well, I think Will Smith is my favorite actor. I think he's the reason I'm doing stand-up comedy because
I'm not saying that I don't like him as a.
Finish what I'm saying, bro.
All right, go ahead. But I'm just saying the way you say it.
Okay, but listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
So I'm saying that he's the reason I started doing stand-up because I want to be on a sitcom. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is my favorite sitcom. Most sitcoms star stand-up comedy. I'm just giving like praise to Will Smith before I say that I didn't like him as a. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm
I was surprised at the amount of time Will Smith spent in the movie just being regular, not blue Will Smith. You know, like he was a regular because he was in disguise as a regular servant or something for a while. But I was like,
Is it true that is it true that the background actors were white people in brown makeup?
I don't know.
I heard that on Up.
It was
Up
very
Rocks.
Bollywood film. I just thought.
I heard that they had stand-in actors from Disney and they painted them brown. I don't know if that's true.
The
or
whole
not.
reason I bring it up.
I don't know.
I'm not touching that. That's what I went right there.
The whole reason I bring it up is because I know Will Smith, you've always said, was like an inspiration for what you do. And now that you're getting like momentum and obviously TV, film might be coming. What Aladdin was a remake that I'm not sure that needed to be remade.
Yeah.
But is there any film you would actually, from your childhood, if you got the chance to do over again? Because remakes seem to be the thing right now. You know, everything's getting remade. Have you put any thought into anything you would like to do?
Like what role would you have loved to grab?
I don't know.
That's a cartoon remake into a live action.
Does it have to be a cartoon?
No. You know what? No, it could be any movie.
What movie? You could put yourself in any remake of any movie. What would it be?
I'm not sure. That's something I gotta think about. But I wouldn't mind being in any of those movies though. Or
I just take any role right now.
Yeah.
You got a Hardee's commercial going on. I'll take that. Krispy Kreme commercial. I'll do that.
Well, I'm a vegan, so
I don't know if I want to be Cardi's commercial.
Is that even a thing you're looking into doing, like TV or film?
Yeah, I want
right
to do
now?
all that, but I'm not. There's no specific movie or.
No favorite film.
Yeah. I mean, I have. My favorite film is The Man from Nowhere. You know what I mean? So yeah, no one knows it, but
I'm like, what? Is that Denzel Washington movie?
no, that was on Netflix, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a pretty good movie.
It's my favorite movie ever.
It was a foreign movie.
Man from Nowhere.
It's a guy who I guess he's like a retired like assassin or something like that. But
It's
he's
a man
like
from
next
nowhere.
door to a girl who or a woman she's like a drug addict and she has a daughter. You know, she doesn't really
take care
of her daughter. And so, but so the girl's like, she goes, she like stealing, does all this stuff, and he's like, annoyed with her, and then she gets kidnapped, and he has to save her, and it's just the most amazing film because it just, my phone works. Orlando, someone from Orlando's calling.
It's a miracle. Pick them up. They're on the podcast.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. I don't know why my phone. Hello?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Oh, what's up, man? For some reason, your number didn't pop. Well, my phone's broken, I guess. What's up with you? We're doing the podcast right now.
Oh, okay. Well, then, I'll call you back later then.
All right, I'll call you right back. All right, bye. That's Curtis.
Is that something you always do? You answer the phone when you're on stage.
Yeah, I'll answer the phone.
You never know. It's going to be important.
What do you want? I'm like, nothing important now, bro. I'll talk to you later.
I just like when random, like when I was talking about hecklers earlier, how people just say stuff to me. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like randomness. So if someone calls me, I'm like, maybe this would be funny. And I'll just answer it and see what happens. I like doing random stuff. And a lot of things in my life I'll do just to be like, maybe I'll think a joke out of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like how many times a lot of the jokes that end up in your set are just ad-libs from the night before that got a laugh. And you're like, man, that worked better than the joke I spent all those months writing.
Yeah,
I'm going to use that from now. But even more so, sometimes you get on stage and you're just like, you feel like you're in autopilot and you're disconnecting. You're just rambling through your material. And that's when I like to take a step back and maybe interact with someone just to break it up because taking myself out of the... I'm just doing a monologue up here.
Yeah. I don't like. You're really good with improvisation, or like just insulting people. But
I was gonna say, insulting people? Is that what you're going with?
Shut up, midget.
There we go. See? Don't laugh at that. That gives him more encouragement.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at that.
So, but the man from nowhere was an assassin that just kind of. It sounds almost like
the professional.
One of 16. I was thinking professional at first, but in the professional, he trains the girl to become an assassin.
Yeah.
This sounds more like one of 6 Denzel Washington films, which are all good.
It was just a good.
It's like if there's anything, it's like like close to Man on Fire, but it wasn't. It was just amazing.
Is it like from the 80s or 90s?
No, it's from like 5 years ago.
Really? It's pretty recent.
Yeah, but it's a foreign film.
Yeah.
But that's why I remember going to Netflix and I remember watching foreign films and I'm like, this is going to be a great film. Because usually when it's a foreign film, it's so good that it made it over here. You know what I mean?
That's how it was.
Well, they used to do, they used to do,
oh, okay.
They used to do the stars things it actually meant something.
Yeah, right.
So
exactly.
It did. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
But I'm glad they stopped doing that. If you like this, you're gonna like this. Because once I watched, if we know you watched Shawshank Redemption, you're gonna love Medea Goes to Jail. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. But
you doing a video or something?
I was just doing promos since I'm not putting anything.
You're right though about that foreign film stuff. Because like I just watched a series last night called. How to Buy Drugs Online. It's on Netflix right now. And I guess it's, I didn't know this. I figured, I was doing some other stuff. I'll put it on in the background. And like the first minute in, you realize, you know how some movies open up with like a little foreign language, but then goes right into English? I look over, I'm like, they haven't said no English yet. And I look over and it's all subtitles. I'm like, God damn it. But the problem was now I was kind of hooked into the whole, what they had going on.
Yeah.
So I ended up I'm like, man, if I wanted to read, I'd pick up a fucking book. But I watched 5 episodes last night where I was just reading my TV. It was so good. It's about, it's over in Germany, this kid who gets dumped by his girlfriend because he doesn't have a lot of money. So he becomes a drug dealer, but he does it like all online and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is a lot of times like the subtitles or like when you go to the movies and you want a specific seat and you get the bad seat, like a lot of that, you only notice that in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like I'll go to a movie theater and I'll sit in the corner. I'm like, this is the worst seat. And then like after the previews, I don't even realize where I'm at. You're just in there.
Right.
So if you just wait a little bit.
Is it an assigned seating now? What are you doing sitting in the worst seat?
Yeah, I mean,
it is now, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, some places you go, not everywhere, man.
And it's funny too because
oh, okay.
You get that end seat in a theater that has like 120 seats, but the movie screen is like bigger than most buildings.
Yeah.
But you're at the end and you're like, I'm not right in the middle. But you don't realize you're like, man, I just came from the hotel where I got like a 20-inch TV and I'm 10 feet away. Like you're gonna have a good view no matter what. But if you're not in the middle, you're like, this movie's.
Only place that sucks is the very front.
Yeah,
I
I don't even know why people buy those seats.
They're so dumb.
Have you ever sat up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that with.
I did for the Aladdin. That's
Fast
probably
and
another
Furious,
reason
I did
why
up there.
I did not like.
Movie's amazing.
I was like, man, this is now I got. Yeah, me too.
I did that for Avengers, and I didn't like it. I loved Avengers. I cried twice.
You cried in that movie?
Yeah.
I didn't either,
The
man.
end game one?
I didn't cry.
Why are you well, first off, everybody, bro, didn't you cry?
No.
That's I don't remember.
Endgame? You don't remember?
But I cry. I do cry in movies. That's what I legit don't.
Bro, the way you said it,
He cried on that.
I cried.
I-
No, I cried too, man. That's why it's not. I don't know why. What, bro?
There's no reason to cry in that movie.
Fight for a living.
No, that's not the point.
You realize
There's no reason to
You
cry in
fight,
that movie.
You have no soul.
What is that?
You see in game.
Yeah.
Did you
You're
cry?
Mike, so it doesn't. You didn't
What?
cry.
I'm very emotional. I cry at like Hallmark
cry?
commercials nowadays.
You cry when you step on the
cry.
scale. I don't want to hear
I don't
shit.
remember any part of Endgame that I cried, but
Movie
I remember
cried.
Infinity War. Infinity War, I cried a little bit at the
Okay,
end.
I didn't cry in Infinity War. but
Yeah.
I
What part had you really going in Endgame?
when Iron Man died.
It's way past. You can spoil the movie. No one's seen the movie.
that's
Yeah,
what
it
it's
doesn't
like.
matter.
So I was like, am I
No,
spoiling?
when
Iron
Tony
Man
Stark died.
or when and those two people were fighting, she was like, I'm gonna die first. They were fighting to die. You know?
Oh yeah,
Black
somebody
Widow
ruined
Die.
that for me.
'Cause I
That
was
part.
Like, he needs to die. She doesn't need to die. So when she died,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, what?
When they were going for the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
He had a family, but he was just murdering people. So it's like, screw him. But it's just kind of like, yeah.
That's why when everybody's like on this, oh, Loki got killed kick, I'm like, do you remember what Loki did? And like the first, he went to like,
Yeah.
I think it was Germany, took some dude's eye out at a party,
Yeah.
you know? And we're going to just forget that? Like that didn't
Yeah.
just happen?
That's
He went
like-
around killing, he brought aliens to the planet Earth. And the thing they don't, thing they don't show in that Avengers movie is like, you think with all that rubble, you only saw the survivors. You never saw him. People died, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was Loki. But everybody's like, but he's cute, you know?
Yeah, that's how good Denzel was in what's that movie?
Training Day.
Training Day. Like you just want him. Any movie he does.
You wanted him to win.
Yeah, you wanted him to
It's
win.
I was like, these are bad dudes.
When he was a drug dealer in New York, right?
No, what?
He was a drug dealer in New York, and it was American Gangster.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
was just like, remember that one time he was like, "You owe me some money." He was like,
Oh, that
"I'll
was-
give you money." Like, pow, and then he was just like, he went back and had lunch or whatever.
And he's still
No.
rooting for him.
And
You're
he gave
"Yeah,
him
remember
but he
guy?"
still put the
That was
percentage in it.
so gangster. How he just took that guy's life. He's never gonna live again. But the way he did it, you know, like it was,
I feel bad because like whenever I see henchmen die in movies now, I'm just at that age where I'm like, man, that guy probably didn't have any vested interests. He's like a hired security
Yeah,
guard,
yeah.
dude. You took him out. He probably didn't even know any of the bad shit his bosses were doing. He just
Yeah,
his wife's
I
expecting
didn't even
him
think
home.
about it.
Like I do a body count, and I'm just like, all these guys were just like hourly employees, and you killed them all without even being like, hey, maybe just leave. You
I
know?
didn't even think about stuff like that.
No, that's.
I
white-
just thought they were all bad.
yeah, that's white people thinking. They don't do that shit.
So I knew you had gone like healthy. Obviously, was it when you left Orlando? You went full on healthy. Like we're talking vegan, right?
yeah, I was thinking that before. I didn't know what a vegan was until I became a vegetarian.
I didn't know what a vegan was until I met you. So or until you
Okay.
introduced it.
So let's pretend all our audience is dumb. And what is the vegan is?
Vegan is no animal products. Vegan means no, you can't eat or wear animal products. So all these, my shoes, my clothes, my belt, everything is not made with animals. Yeah, because usually, you have shoes that are made out of like leather, which is pig.
Well, I don't wear leather. I don't have a pair of leather shoes, but okay.
And
But like
vegetarian.
even like your sole, usually a lot of your shoes, and most times your belt.
Really?
So is that something when you go into a store, you actually tell them like, hey, or
Well,
you know where to shop? That
Yeah, I mean, like all the H&M's clothes is vegan. They like it's all Forever 21. That's for girls. But like just like this,
They got a list.
That's where I get my
there's
shirts.
There's a bunch of places, and a lot of places are like
really?
transitioning into to vegan wear. But
Right.
when I was on the show, I was doing what Facebook Watch with George Lopez. He is hilarious, by the way. That dude is insane. He's so funny.
Yes.
It's like ridiculous. Like it's just like when I was working with him, I was like, man, there's levels. I remember thinking
just even off camera,
just
hysterical.
off camera. He would. I mean, we would do takes, and then he would be so funny, and he would say some off the wall stuff that they had to cut out. But it was I'm talking about the crew was crying. Like he was just so funny, and I was like, "Bruh, like you're amazing." He's like, "Man, I've been doing this 35 years."
Now this was the show that was the dogs, right?
Yeah.
And what was it
Dogs?
called?
World's Most Amazing.
World
Dog.
Amazing.
And that was you can watch that on what?
You can watch it on Facebook Watch.
Facebook Watch?
Yeah, so just Facebook. Just
Okay.
Facebook.
Don't try to explain technology to Mike. You'll be here all day, man.
Obviously,
It's on Facebook. That's it for him.
TV is like, on its way out. So
Yeah.
like the new Hollywood is like Netflix.
It's all streaming
Yeah,
stuff.
Amazon. You got Showtime, HBO, and the Facebook Watches, and another like that's the number one show on there is the Red Table with Jada Smith.
Yeah,
and
and Jada Smith and
Her daughter and her
daughter.
mom.
Yeah, mom,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, they're killing it. I mean, our first episode had like 12 million views or something like that. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
But when they were dressing me and they was asking for what I want to wear, I was like, oh, and they just made sure everything was vegan. But yeah, I started that in Orlando.
So you started becoming a vegan in Orlando.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, in Los Angeles. But I thought about it in Orlando.
Okay.
I think he became a vegan in Orlando, but then stopped.
Yeah.
So him and my brother became vegans before I did. And
What was the big turning point for you? What was the change? Was it just one day you sat down and said, "Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be eating animals and stuff"?
Well, I think everyone's against animal cruelty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone does. If we walk down the street and you just see
eating
someone
a
just
ham
beating
sandwich.
a pig or beating,
But no, if you see it though,
when you see someone beating an animal, you're gonna be like, say stop doing that. But
Yeah.
that's just what happens behind doors. And I knew that. Like I remember, I was like, I don't care though. I was like, I like chicken. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
my attitude. I was like-
I just always sit there because I still eat chicken and beef and everything.
Because you're a monster.
Well, baby's mama is a vegetarian, and the kids, they eat, the only thing they eat right now is chicken nuggets as far as me, and they're pretty much vegetarian, stuff like that. But I always treat it like, the animals that I eat are the ones that deserved it. Like
What?
let's just say there's human beings around that the world wouldn't miss if they were gone. I think there's douchebag cows out there too, and I think those are the ones I'm eating.
You think
You can't tell me every cow
You
is
think-
like a good cow.
you think all the checker burgers that you have nightly is
Yep.
an asshole cow?
Asshole cows.
That's what you think?
That's why I eat McDonald's a lot. That's not even like real meat. That's like something else.
There's a lot of tofu.
No, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I just don't know if it's the way to go for me.
I watched.
Yeah.
I just.
You feel healthier
I
and stuff?
think- oh man, I didn't do it for health reasons. I did
No?
it for ethical reasons.
What'd you do?
I did for
Ethical or-
health.
Yeah, I remember. This
I just go ahead.
Okay, I remember I when you first came vegan because I did it for ethical reasons. So I just feel like life is precious. I don't think specific lives are precious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any life more. 'Cause, I mean, nothing matters. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't feel like anyone's specific life is more precious than someone else's life. And so that's why I did it. And so when I would talk to him about it, he would be like, "Bro, you gonna make me go back?"
He was annoying, man. He was annoying me. I did vegan. I was
vegans are like a gang, man. See, he got out, he gets pulled back in.
no. I was no. This was when I was a vegan though.
Mm-hmm.
He was just. I was just like, bruh, leave me alone, bruh. it was just be like, oh, look at the doggy. I'm like, bruh.
Sound like
Yeah, bruh, his whole voice changed, and so I became a vegan because meat, the aftertaste started tasting weird for me.
Yeah.
Like it would be good, but then like I would have it like an aftertaste that would just. I was like, let me just try it, and then I tried it, and I didn't know how to cook vegan food. I just thought it was like rice
Just ice cubes
Yeah.
and bread.
and
Not
stuff
even
like
bread, huh?
that. And then when I went to LA, they got just so many vegan options, and it was good. People think that you can't. When they think about it, the thing is the taste and the texture of the food, and so they get upset. They're like, "Man, I can't go vegan because I like meat too much." It's just like you could eat something that tastes like meat
if you just
without
ate
killing.
chicken by itself. It's nasty.
It's very nasty.
You
They're
have to
called.
season it. You just like the texture, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like that's all they do in Los Angeles is they take the texture and they season it, and then boom.
What's the worst vegan dish you guys ever had? Like
Worst?
Yeah, like
Oh.
there's got to be like.
Yeah, that is
there's-
nasty.
Yeah, like what's like no, don't ever feed me that again.
I
I don't remember them.
I don't remember.
There is some vegan cheese that I almost fought somebody for feeding me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I almost.
Because there's no dairy, right?
There's no dairy.
There's so
Vegan cheese is like fake booties. You know what I mean?
fake booties.
Yeah. Like, you know how like breast implants, you know, like back in the day, it's like, oh, that's obviously fake. But now you're like, you don't know as much.
Right, it's hard to tell.
And so booties are in the stage in the beginning where it's like you look like you got a used diaper on. You know what I mean? And then it's like that's the same with the you know, cheese. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna wait it out a few more years. You know what I mean?
So you're
Until they get it right.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
So what's your average day like? Like what you wake up, have for breakfast? What gets you
I
going?
usually eat oatmeal.
Oatmeal?
Yeah, I'm
Just
a
good to
oatmeal.
go. You throw
Yeah.
some raisins in there. This guy hates texture.
Raisin, not
love
raisin.
raisins. It's like
I wouldn't put raisins in it. I'd
don't
probably do like blueberries or strawberries,
Yeah,
bananas.
raisins.
I never tried raisins. I'm not gonna lie to
Do
you.
you
That's
find-
white people shit.
Do you find
I
yourself
was saying
eating
that
like a
throughout
lot
the-
of smaller meals throughout the day, or do you get like a full meal out of something vegan?
Nah, I just eat. You know what I mean? I don't really. I haven't changed anything up.
Yeah.
I don't. I do the same thing. I'll eat some oatmeal, put some bananas, blueberries in it. You know, blueberries amazing. Most antioxidants that anything.
Did you just do a commercial for blueberries?
I was gonna say
what
this-
just happened
this
there?
sponsored by the
It just-
Blueberry Foundation of
Yo,
America.
A logo popped up behind him and it disappeared when he said that.
But yeah, man, I just eat. I eat whatever. I don't. People ask me if I miss meat, and I'm like, I don't miss meat.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think food is so good? Like, food is amazing. It's still amazing. People don't realize it's like when you don't eat meat, that leaves everything else. That means that's fruits, grains, vegetables, lentils, beans. You know, it's just everything else. And you can, that's why I got that cooking show, and I just made cheesecake. It tastes like cheesecake. I mean, chocolate. I mean, this. You know, if I make you pulled pork, vegan pulled pork, it's gonna taste exactly like I swear on everything. It just tastes like pulled pork. You know, because you got the jackfruit that has a texture, and you just season it like that. But yeah, they got Impossible Burgers that are blowing up. They ran out of Impossible. They did a test run at Burger King with the Impossible Burger, which is a vegan burger, and they ran out because that's how good it is. It's good.
Never had one, so.
It's pretty good.
They're gonna when they start going worldwide.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't BurgerFi do it? Does something like that?
I think they might.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it, though, living in Orlando. Like, you guys are out there where it's been the scene for a while to have vegan, vegetarian. Living in Orlando, I was doing so well at the beginning of the year. Kermit had me doing workouts. I was on a good diet, everything else. But just trying to eat even healthy, not even going vegan in Orlando when you're on a schedule. It's like you got to plan that shit ahead of time. You can't just be like out somewhere and go, I'm hungry, and try to eat healthy in Orlando because it's not going to happen. I mean, you worked in restaurants out there and stuff like that. It's just crap food all over the place.
I felt like there was only like 3 vegan spots here.
Yeah.
Like literally.
I don't know.
So,
But I mean, I don't know anymore. But I just know Dandelion.
yeah.
Dandelion's great. I didn't know they were vegan. I didn't know what a vegan was, so I was a vegetarian. I had no idea what a vegan was.
And then
I used to
vegans
go to
were like, "Oh, you're a
Dandelion all the
vegetarian."
time. Huh?
Do
I thought it was
vegans
the
look
same.
down on vegetarians? Like, do they kind of be like, either commit or get the
I don't
fuck
look
out?
down on
Well, they
nobody.
don't look down. I don't think vegans look down
That's
on
not
anyone.
true.
You know what I mean?
Well, I do look down on
I
you.
see that very
You're
much.
short.
Yeah, because I'm
I
short.
don't think
Midget.
vegans look down on anyone. I think there's the same with vegans or same with people that are into politics or in super into religion or whatever. There's always extremists. And so I think that people look at the extremist vegans and they're like, okay, vegans are like that. Or they look at the extremist religious people and they're like, oh, all religious people are like that. Extremist
Right.
politicians on the left or the right, and they're like, okay, the left is like this, the right is like this. It's like you have a lot of people that are just vegan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think being a vegetarian is not a vegan. You know, because you actually eat more. You eat more dairy, and then this is the crazy thing is, this is how dumb I was, growing up. I just assumed because they teach you like, where's the milk come from? Cows. So I just thought that cows produced milk.
Yeah.
You don't think about it. You don't think, okay, but they don't just produce milk. They have to be pregnant, so they got to be forced impregnated. So they're raped, and then the whole time they're pregnant, they're taking milk from the cow while they're pregnant, and then when the baby's born, they take the baby away from the mother, and then they keep nursing them, and then they go. If it's a male, they kill it for veal, and if it's a girl, they go and they repeat the process. But people don't think about that because it's like they don't think about the whole process leading up to that. But for me, if I just replace that with because people don't think that that cows have emotions for some reason, but they do. Like they still get depressed, they get happy, they get sad. So if I place that cow with a human, and you raped the human, and then the whole time she was pregnant, you had her chained up.
You don't even have to do that. Dogs. Well, when people think about dogs, that they get overprotective.
The people are so protected by dogs, like when people are like. When people were like, "We got to save the dogs in China," they're eating the bird. It's like it doesn't make any sense. Because when I was eating meat, I would have ate a dog. I didn't care. I would have ate it. I'm not even joking. I would have ate a dog leading up to the point where I got a dog, and I was like, "Oh, I can't." You know what I mean? Because I was like, "It's just meat." I was like, "Meat is meat." So that's what kind of like. I was like,
I think you're right. Frankie Paul used to do a great joke about. He's like, notice we judge what meat we eat by how entertaining that animal is for us.
Wow.
You know, like dogs can do some tricks. Cows, they got to learn some shit. You know. Parrots talk. Chickens don't. That's why chickens get ate, because they don't say "don't eat me." You know.
That's pretty brilliant. Yeah. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, cats are like whatever. My mom saved a dog from. She lives in China. They were gonna eat it. So she just,
which is over there. That's just
common,
right?
Exactly.
They don't eat. I don't think they use their animals like ox for actually plowing and stuff though. Yeah. And then we'll probably just kill.
You go to India. It's illegal to kill cows.
Right.
You know, they're like you'll go to jail. You'll get murdered or whatever.
Where I went to college, there was a Chinese buffet around the corner. We used to go. It was like $8 all you can eat. So we go there for lunch a lot. And they got shut down the year after I left because the FDA or the Board of Health found a greyhound in the freezer. And they tried to explain that was for their family meal because it was a family-owned restaurant. They would all sit down, have their meal and everything else. And they're like, no, it's prepared. We order it, blah, blah, blah. And What's that?
Where was this at?
It was called Buffalo Buffet in Fort Pierce, Florida. It was a Chinese buffet. And the funny thing is, like what you just said, I'm like, I had that buffet 2-3 times a week. And if they were serving me Greyhound, I'd have more. It was delicious, you know? Yeah. Like, you don't know. Meat is meat at some point.
Yeah, so that's how I felt. And then, are you showing them time?
No, he's showing me pictures of his dog like I care.
I was showing you a dog. I was showing you the time, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you guys got a show to get ready for. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Did we go over or something?
No, we didn't go. We'd be here all day, but I know you guys
and your
time. Rest and relax before your show.
You gotta go to the mall.
Don't do this relaxing stuff.
He dropped his phone in the toilet.
I just gotta go to the mall, man, and then like see if they can fix my phone. Or I don't know if I gotta buy a new phone or whatever. But like it's just I can't.
Because
I'm sure you got the insurance on there or something. They'll pull up your plan and be like, here you go.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Because that sucks. But yeah, I got pee. I've been drinking a lot of water in my throat.
All right, no problem. So
Justin, you still working at that bagel shop?
Yeah, I think last time we talked to you were doing bagel shop duty still.
Yeah, that's still one of my jobs, but I haven't been there.
Really? It seems. Yeah, it seems like you're on the road a lot.
Yeah, they get mad.
You're
sometimes.
Sex with bagel.
What?
Wait, nothing. Anyways, so
no. Why did they get mad? They're like, because you're like, hey, I gotta do this big show for thousands of people, and they're like, yeah, everybody's a celebrity out here.
It's just well, technically.
Do you work with?
It is LA. No, there's only like 2 people that try to do commercials or whatever.
Right.
Or
you hit Employee of the Month yet?
I could have been a manager of that place if I wanted to, but like
with your comedy credentials, that's what you did. They base you off your
at the bagel spot.
Yeah, last time we talked to him, he was doing the bagel.
The only place that wouldn't let me be a manager was Red Lobster, and I gave them all my life.
You got fired.
All my life? No, I never got fired.
No, you quit.
There was only one job I got fired from, and that's Burger King or Popeyes.
What'd you get fired from Popeyes for?
Because it was like super far away, and I had to ride a bike on the highway against traffic to get there. And one time my bike broke, so I was like, I'm not finna walk all the way over there.
That's how this job ends.
So I just hit up my manager. I was like, I don't think I'll be able to. I don't think I'll be able to make it. And plus, I got a job. I just got an interview at Burger King at that time. I was like, I don't think I'll be able to make it.
That was a tipping point. How dare you? You can jump shit for Burger King.
Popeyes. They didn't even know I worked there or had the interview. So I was like, she was like, so you telling me you're not coming in? And I was like, no, I'm not coming in. She's like, well, what do you want me to do about that? And I was like, I don't know, whatever y'all supposed to do, I guess. And then she's like, oh, okay, thank you. And I was like, I know I'm fired, so I'm just not going to show up. I'm not going to go. And this guy at Burger King.
Cool, man. Well, I know you guys got to get, but got to fix that phone and do a show, and we're going
to go eat food.
We're going to go. I can't eat food now, man. They ruined it. Like, all I wanted all day was like, I asked him before we stopped by, I'm like, did they eat yet? Because if they didn't eat, I'm going to grab a burger or something. Now I can't even have a burger, man. You ruined it.
No, they got to take us somewhere. We're going to eat vegan food today.
No.
Oh, there's some vegan spots here.
Let's go do it.
But
Let's go do it.
I would say this.
His ass needs a salad. Look at him.
This one made me vegan. I was a vegan when I watched this, but then I always thought I'd go back to eating meat. Until I watched this movie. So
yeah, the one on YouTube.
Yeah.
Earthlings.
Did I show you?
What's it called?
Yeah, and I was in for a treat.
Wow.
I was like, whoosh.
Yeah, Earthlings.
Okay,
and I was like, wow, man.
Watch,
and then I ate a pork chop.
Watch Earthlings. It's a good movie on YouTube.
Yeah.
It just shows you what happens.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Oh man, kosher.
Oh, bro, you had to take breaks, man. I was crying, man.
It will work on me.
I was literally crying.
I'm really so like I watched Super Size Me, that McDonald's documentary once, and I didn't eat McDonald's for like 3 years.
Really?
But he's
Oh well,
But
listen, you
done then. You
you better not watch because this
like, that's
is
Next time you guys see me, I'm gonna have a baby cow for a pet. This is like my third son. But seriously though, thanks for sitting down and everything. But what you guys got coming up? You're leaving here. You're going back. You got some time off, or you got show?
I don't have a show Monday. I have a show Tuesday. Flappers.
Oh, yeah. My buddy Richie Reese used to run that.
Burbank.
Yep. I know that because you have a show in Canada. You have a show. It's good on the list.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I got a show in Phoenix next week.
I got Phoenix.
Then it's Canada.
Then Canada.
And then it's like, but I got a show every night. Every night I'm in town, in LA, and then every night when I'm on the road. But
man,
hey, man, it's okay.
It's
awesome.
taking while it's there. Right?
I know, right? I have a great life, man.
It's awesome.
Sometimes I got to sit down. I'll be annoyed or I'll be sad about something. And I'll be okay. Like, remember where you were like 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Like just like.
I was gonna say I'm sorry that we didn't get recorded because right before we sat down we were talking about kind of that mindset you've had of not having money your whole life and just some of the funny how you're trying to adjust to it now, actually being able to afford some things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's ridiculous to even think like that.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm still broke. I feel like I think that's the mindset you should do because I to be honest with you, when I was really broke, I worked harder. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I work hard. I work hard. I feel like I work hard now. But when I was like I had nothing, I was like, you know what I mean? You wanted more.
You know, you mentioned Flappers, and I'm like, man, it's funny because I think it was just 3 years ago I was doing a show, and you called me up, and you're like, man, it might have been a little longer. It was right after you moved back out to L.A., and you were like, man, I want to get up at Flappers. Tom Rhodes is there. Do you think you can call over to the manager and see if I can? And I'm like, dude, I know the manager, but I know if you force your way in like that, he'll hold it against you. But I'm like, but let's see if we can get you an audition. And now all of a sudden, it's like they'd kill to have you anywhere, you know? Right. But I also think back to probably about 6 years ago, I was booking a showcase at the Orlando Improv. And I'm like, man, swing on by. I'll throw you a couple of bucks to close it out. You're like, oh, thank you so much. And at the end of the night, you thought you were getting like 20 bucks, and I gave you 100. And you were like, really, dude? Are you sure? Are you sure? And just to think back to, I used to be able to get Preacher Lawson to sit through 16 shitty comics and do 20 minutes for $100.
Bro, because I don't do it for we don't do it for money. Like we don't do stand up for money. I mean we it's just now we technically do it for money. It's our job. But like we didn't start we didn't get in the stand like okay, let's get this money.
The grind of everyday open mic.
I tell people all the time, they're like, hey, how long till I start making a living doing this, like the new guys? And I'm like, dude, if I told you right now that you'll never make $1 doing this, would you still want to get up tonight and tell jokes? And I'm like, and if you say yes, you might have a shot. If you say no, then you're probably fucking doomed, dude.
That's a really well way of putting it. I think because new comedians always do that. They're like when we start making
when we start making money,
and it's like and that's a great way because seriously it's like do you like doing this? Okay,
you gotta want to do this.
Yeah, you gotta want.
No one is forcing you to leave your house at X whatever time to go stand somewhere, to maybe go up on stage.
But if you
for
think
5 minutes,
get rich doing this, it's few and far between.
Oh man!
But you know what? Another thing, and I tell this all the time because you were telling me. You were telling me how people are like, well, when are you gonna make it or something like that? Making it is a different definition. It's because I feel like I made it before I got on TV. because I was like, when I was doing colleges, and I was just doing stand up full time. I was like, I'm doing stand up full time. I'm good. I was like, this is great right here.
Yeah.
And you were saying how people have this idea that if
You
you're
have to
not
be
on
on TV,
you didn't make it. And it's like just because you're not a master chef doesn't mean you can't cook. It doesn't mean like you're not a successful cook. You know what I mean? Same with comedy. You don't have to be on, like, there's only a few slots. There's only a few slots. So it's like, as long as if you're making money, if you're paying full time for stand up comedy, you won. That's amazing. So I feel like I was winning before I got on, and then I was just cherry on top.
Yeah, I still get that. They're like, oh, you've been doing it for a while. You think you'll ever make it? I'm like, you know what? I don't know, but I know that this is the only job I have, and I take care of my 2 kids and their mom, and there's a roof over their head. And I'm like, and then we got some money in the bank. Yeah. And I'm like, I know I've worked jobs I've hated a lot more and not been as well off financially. Yeah. So what's making it to you? And I think that's it. A lot of people are like, oh no, if I don't see you on TV, then you haven't made it. And it's like, well, fucking whatever, dude. My bills are paid. Mind your business.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but cool. Thank you guys so much for sitting down with us and stuff. And good
you
luck
guys
to
got
everything.
so you did the shows, and again, can't thank you guys enough for taking the time out. We drove all the way out here for you guys, and you guys gave us the time.
Shows tonight?
Yeah, we're gonna check out your shows.
All right, cool.
Yeah, and then that's it. This
I'm
episode.
gonna go not get a burger.
I know. You can eat a salad.
Get a vegan burger.
Can he get a salad? He eats a salad, right?
Don't get a salad. I don't like salad.
Not salad?
I don't like salad.
You're perpetrating the myth.
Look at him, though. He needs one. I mean, he needs he hasn't done a push-up in like a decade.
We're trying to get one on him. Mike.
Are you gonna hold mitts? Are you gonna hold mitts?
We're gonna hold mitts too. We're gonna see.
Oh, I thought he said mints.
No, hold mitts.
Mints?
Yeah.
No.
Mints.
Part of the thing was
mitts.
Kermit's like, I gotta bring mitts because
Like
I think
spray.
Preacher wants to throw some punches.
I just want to start holding.
I'm just
mitts
saying, if you
for,
miss the mitt and maybe catch him in the head once, we're good.
Yeah, you
we're
try
good.
to
I'll
punch him in
drive
the
home.
face. That's all right. That's all right. Well, anyway, this is episode 67 of Obligatory Podcast with Kermit and Mike. You can catch us on Spotify, iTunes. You can see this video on YouTube, and of course, follow Preacher Lawson on Instagram and all the social media, and Justin Lawson, right? At Justin Lawson on Instagram, YouTube, all that.
Yeah.
And go ahead, sign us off, Preacher. Say it.
And I'm out.
And I'm out. We out.